So we have already an opening prayer and an opening centering song that's on the beginning of a CD I did with some other women last year called Singing for the Soul. And we thought it might be good for us because we come in from so many places, and nervousness, edginess, and need for us to just calm down, to really have our singing today have the clarity and the purity of our intention of healing. So, come be beside us, come be around us, come be within us, come be among us, come be beside us, come be around us, come be within us, come be among us, come be beside us, come be around us, come be within us, come be among us, come be beside us, come be around us.
Well, you wake up in the morning, hear the ding-dong ring, go a-marching to the table, you see the same damn thing, you see knife and fork on the table, and nothing in my hand, you're saying nothing about it, you're in trouble with the man, let me get my special.
For us to understand, prophets are contemporary. So are mystics. There are contemporary mystics, right? You know them when you're around them, because those are the people who are laughing. Those are the people that are having a good time. And it's not because they haven't read the newspapers. But it's because they have transcended in their own minds and souls the concepts of good and evil. So what we're looking to do here is to figure out what's the thing that's between me and being a prophet. It might be that the only thing that separates you from being a prophet is you saying so, or you thinking so. So this is what we do. We take an idea, we flesh it out, and we share it with the world. All of you have ideas based on what's happened to you in your life. You all know things. How to transform what you know into another shape is not that much of a leap. To do it in an art form is very cool, because art goes directly from the soul of one into the soul of the other. It hardly makes a detour through the brain. It's just so much. If there's music, if there's image, if it's poetry, just kaplunk from my soul into yours. That's the wonder. That's the power of art. That's why we're drawn to it. That's why you all have books by your bed.
And so what this book is doing is giving people a new way to think, not only about the world out there, but about the world in here, and how to bring the heart and the brain together. And it's that fusion that leads to this new creative combustion, which is the new synthesis we're talking about. We all hold a piece of the puzzle. If everybody right now on the entire planet was figuring out who they were, what they knew, what information they contain, and brought that to the table, there would be no world hunger. there would be no war. But this is the only thing that is going to move us forward, because we have evolved to the point as human beings that we are looking for experience that is whole-bodied. People are clamoring now for workplace experiences that have integrity, that have meaning, that have a sense of spirituality. So that's what we're trying to stimulate here. And how do we transform the energy that was once information into an energy that's inspirational? Is that we engage the whole body. We engage the emotions. We make you feel things. Thought leaders are interested not in motivation, but in transformation. We're interested in change on a cellular level. This is like the difference between a New Year's resolution and a marriage vow. So what's required for thought leaders today? 3 things. 1, you have to be able to evoke spirit. 2, you have to be able to provoke thought, original thought, a new kind of thinking. And 3, you have to be able to inspire people to act. That is the new synthesis for success. Hearing our voice, because it's only the sound of our own voices that's going to heal us. This linear, literal brain thing we've got going on, which is where we hold all the messages about how wrong we are. But when we're exposed to something that goes from heart to heart and soul to soul, then there's hope for us, because our spirit is rejuvenated. And that's why using the arts in this project was the most brilliant thing of all, because we're bypassing a lot of the negativity. I mean, we have to go there in the workshops, and we have to address that and enable women to understand how we sustain that damage and how do we get out of it. But we don't have a chance of doing that until we bring the arts in first to open up people, to the potential for change. Growing up, the sisters always said singing is praying twice. And I think that is the case. And we always dedicate, before we start singing, we dedicate where do we want this healing energy to go, because we understand that we're conjuring up an energy that, because of our intentions, is healing, and we dedicate it. And it occurred to me, you know, my work is pretty national, so I'm in the middle of all these different places, and I tell people primarily the most important thing is you have to be part of a circle. You can't be living an isolated life and expect everything to unfold as it needs to, because unless you're extraordinarily like a recluse or hermit or mystic of some kind, you need to see yourself mirrored back in the reflections of others. The other day, I had the experience of going to the dentist, and I was getting my teeth cleaned. And the dental hygienist was new, and I had not experienced her before, and was quite surprised to see that she wanted to be chatty. So she's got the tools in my mouth. Well, she did me the biggest favor, but she's got the tools in my mouth when she says, "What do you do?" So right away I think, boy, how do I get it down to a couple words? Right? So I go, I teach and I write books. Oh, that's
about? I say, creativity and consciousness and the spiritual path. She goes, creativity, consciousness, and the spiritual path? I say, yeah. Oh, that's nice. What makes you the expert? And I say, I pay attention to my own path. I pay attention to my own path. And I thought, what a great gift she gave me that day to help me get clear on how I'm an expert. Because I am an expert on the spiritual path. Because I didn't just leave the convent, I was dismissed from the convent. And I had no plan B. So I have had to figure out how to create a life that matters as much as I thought my life would matter as a nun. That there's a gift in whatever feels like it might have been a trauma. It took me 20-some years to figure out what was the gift of being dismissed from the convent. And this is the gift, that I get to wear this, and I get to stand here, and I have 2 microphones in my underwear. That wouldn't have happened. Right? So they did me a big favor.
Look at some visuals now, because my job as a multimedia artist is to just keep feeding you different kinds of food until you finally fill up to the extent that you're totally satisfied. You have no needs. There's no more scarcity agenda. You're fully aware that everything you needed in order to do this great work in the world, you're sitting with right now.